a portion of his partners, however, are still on a choke. What's more, that was all there was to it. Be straightforward with it, and he can't tell the truth with it. Show, and it just took my breath away clutch. Your seats in light of the fact that the most recent buzz is that scene puffy brushes also called. Diddy has quite recently dropped a stunner you will have a hard time believing what he's done this time. Diddy, the pioneer behind Awful Kid Records, has reassigned the distributing freedoms of his hallmarks index back to the unique specialists that is correct he's given away the freedoms to each craftsman who's at any point been under his name, including the home of the amazing famous Huge I. Don't have a clue about the famous B.I.G. I know. Christopher. I truly know Chris. Hello there everybody, and welcome back to Secret Life Channel. Why presently you pose astounding inquiry. It's no secret that Terrible Kid Records is moving toward its 30th commemoration. So is this an exposure stunt, or is there something else to it, bits of hearsay or whirling? What's more, they're juicier than a peach in the Georgia Sun. Some say this move is Diddy's approach to expressing a desire for peace. To Big Deal's mom, Valletta Wallace, and we should not fail to remember there are still waiting allegations that Diddy had something to do with Big Deal's grievous downfall and later profited by his music yet when you assumed you had everything sorted out, quality arrangement and nearby. Insider has an alternate story to tell. He claims these music privileges are presently useless. Envision that it wasn't huge, since he didn't be able to spend none of his cash. Craig Mack got lost the name, who is Wheat Dark Wild didn't be able to burn through none of his cash except for standby. There's more show ahead, assuming you think Diddy's ongoing move is dubious. We'll strip back layers on past struggle embarrassments and the delicious big-name sentiments that have emerged from this drama. Distributing freedoms are the brilliant tickets in the music business, concluding who leaves with a pot of eminences, and we should simply say this pot has been bubbling for quite a long time. So he got to look great going into it, since right now in the public's eye, try not to look that great, brother. Now we know what you're thinking. Did Diddy cheat specialists out of their sovereignties in the past? Goodness, do we have the receipts for you? Recollect Labyrinth, he's been vocally unpleasant about his past dealings with Diddy, even saying he attempted to repurchase his freedoms for $2 million just to be turned down. And who could forget the extraordinary spot between 50 Penny and Diddy back in 2010? 50 blamed Diddy for taking advantage of Big Deal's memory, which brought about an exceptionally open quarrel. Quick forward to 2020, did he get the Grammy Industry Symbol grant, however hold the commendation Mace took to Instagram in and at this point erased post blaming Diddy for obtrusive pietism, referring to uncalled for business rehearses. Freddie Pinchek Curry have additionally joined the analysis march, with Curry venturing to say that those returned distributing privileges are presently useless. Well, have you got to utilize it? What's more, made millions things off a bit too. Assist him with being a tycoon. And afterward he going to give them back with nothing in the tank on the off chance that this tea is excessively hot for you. Stand by till you catch wind of Valletta Wallace Big Deal's mother, who is as yet looking for equity for her child. She even highlighted in a Netflix narrative. Big Deal, I got a story to tell this evening. I can say she wasn't initially an enthusiast of rap, yet felt an association with her child through his music after his less than ideal downfall, and it goes further. Hypotheses keep on flowing, ensnaring Diddy. What's more, Big Deal's misfortunes saturated with a history of super hits and discussions Terrible Kid Records was the brainchild of Scene Puffy Brushes, otherwise called Diddy, which showed signs of life in 1993 as the stalwart behind a few multi-platinum singles. The name quickly rose to noticeable quality during the 90s, forming the soundscape of hip bounce and R&B. However, with incredible power came extraordinary investigation, particularly when craftsmen under the name's umbrella began to voice their generally charges against Diddy. And Terrible Kid Records aren't a late peculiarity. The murmurs of Diddy tricking specialists out of their freedoms have been in the wireless transmissions for quite a long time. Craftsman dissatisfactions with Diddy frequently returned again to the unpredictable universe of distributing privileges, the brilliant in ticket. In the music business that guarantees a craftsman's monetary life span, yet maybe the most impactful account string is that of Valletta Wallace, still on her mission to look for equity for her child's inconvenient, and her unflinching interest is apparent in the Netflix narrative. Biggie, I got a story to tell, while the speculations embroiling Diddy and big deals downfall stay simply that hypotheses they've done barely anything to drench the flares of doubt an insider talking on State of Obscurity once commented the history among Diddy and the previous awful kid specialists isn't just about business. Its very own. These struggles have profound profundities that the public, as it were, sees the outer layer of the new move by Diddy to reassign distributing freedoms has not just set the tattle factories beating. In any case, it likewise accompanies a wave of genuine world ramifications on a monetary front. Distributing privileges, frequently viewed as a mother lode in the music business, creates consistent income through sovereignties by surrendering them Diddy. What's more, Terrible Kid Records may be prior a predictable stream of pay anyway. On the other side, craftsmen who've been re-granted these privileges currently stand to possibly benefit more from their manifestations. Who you don't believe it's certified, you think Puffy is simply getting it done. For its picture the hypothesis, it being an olive to encompass this move branch to Valletta Wallace is certain the reassignment has had. However, many contemplating whether this signal, monetarily huge, may very well be a quiet I'm sorry reverberating through the chronicles of hip bounce history, and keeping in mind that we may very well never have an unmistakable response. It's apparent that this choice is interwoven with big deal's inheritance now, adding one more layer to this complex adventure is the timing with Diddy's collection on the skyline. A few pundits contend that this could be an essential play for exposure. Giving back privileges not long before a collection drop is a certainly insightful move, guaranteeing that everyone's attention is on Diddy and his music. You know he's truism. We terrible kid, we know it's terrible kid you. Then we have imprint Curry, who messed up the account by recommending that the return distributing privileges could now be useless. His statement raises the question, is this fabulous signal simply a empty follow-up on the lawful front? The reassignment could mess everything up. Past agreements limitations and arrangements should be returned to guarantee there aren't any reason for potential claims. A legitimate master referenced reassigning distributing freedoms isn't simply a handshake bargain, it's a fastidious cycle, and on the off chance that not done well, it could prompt prosecution. And when contentions of this size eject, they will undoubtedly impact different regions of the business sponsorships, organizations, and potential joint efforts could go under investigation. Marks ever careful about contention may reconsider their affiliation procedures. In an insider added more fuel to the fire, indicating the profundity of this choice. Diddy's move, however open, has layers. The world hasn't seen while it's being hailed by some there's a basic. Strain that proposes there's something else entirely to come as Awful Kid Records gears up for its 30th commemoration festivity. The air is thick with expectation. The record name inseparable from some of the business' greatest hits and infamous discussions is at a crucial intersection with Diddy's new move to reassign distributing privileges. Many are inquisitive about how this motion will shape the celebrations. Will this be the redemptive second the name and its pioneer have been sitting tight for, or just one more section in its questionable adventure? So that's what he's silly, he said. Terrible Kid will be recalled like on the level of Motown. The reassignment of privileges, while representative, has further ramifications. Some accept it's a peace offering, conceivably making ready for compromise. Among Diddy and craftsmen who have felt violated throughout the long-term Mace's years-long complaints featured by his bombed bid to repurchase his privileges remains as a demonstration of the sharpness. Yet this move could indicate a repairing of injuries from way back. One can't resist the urge to contemplate the potential of future coordinated efforts. Envision a world where Diddy and these craftsmen come together for a joint task, a move that would, without a doubt, be weighty, given the gigantic ability and shared history. Such experience could be the melodic occasion of the 10 years, combining old feelings of spite with new inventiveness. Theory is additionally overflowing about conceivable public appearances with the honor season around the bend. The timing is immaculate. Might we at some point observe a public affirmation, or maybe even a joint execution that tends to this fantastic choice? A source near the circumstance murmured there are talks about us. See